Okay, guys, so I'm back with the second part, and alright. So we left off where the devil had put in sores all over Job's body. And so let's see. Job can be seen then as a metaphor of the suffering Christian. How Job reacts to God's test says something about how we should react to trials. The book asks us to consider our faith. Would we continue to trust, to love God with all of our heart, soul, and mind? Like we should when it says in Matthew 22:37-38, even while suffering for reasons we do not understand and that seem purposeless. Yeah, I can't say that word. Okay. So, I mean, and that's a huge question to ask ourselves. You know, if we were in Job's position, could we simply just say either I must have done something wrong, or could we not blame God? Could we be in this situation and not blame God? So, in the next scene we are where Job is on the heap of ashes and he's with his friends, and his friends instead of comforting him, his friends mistake what's going on as, okay, they see Job going through all this and they just assume that Job did something wrong and that's why he's going through this. So instead of being there for him, instead of being there emotionally for their friend and saying, we're there for you, anything, they persecute him and say, obviously, out of fear, they persecute him and say, obviously, you're going through what you're going through because you did something wrong. And so, instead of being there for him, that's wrong. Okay. So he's going through all this stuff and he's tormented and he's angry and his three friends are doing this to him. Because his friends have no idea that God is deeply involved in Job's life at the precise moment, and they have no understanding of what God is trying to accomplish, nor why Job is suffering so terribly. Nor do they grasp the cosmic issue is at stake. Job himself does not understand why this evil is happening to someone who has faith in God. Why has a good God allowed such terrible things to happen to a, if not perfect, at least decent, God-fearing human being? Job, in short, is asking, why me, Lord? On the ash heap, the issue is very human, confused, and not completely understood the principal human characters. Okay. These are all plagued by incomplete and distorted knowledge. They make partial or incorrect judgments about God's activities, or they misapply general observation of Job's specific situation. Okay. So, Job is desperately trying to solve this mystery of what's going on with himself. He's trying to figure out what's going on behind his struggles. And, he's looking for clues, and, he can't find any. So Job prays expectantly. God will surely speedily intervene in his life, heal him and his disease to explain what's going on. So now he's gotten to the point, and this is where he tells his friends, I know that my Redeemer lives. I know that my God has not forsaken me. And so even though he's asking, and then in the end, if you read clear to the end of Job where he has this visitation, and things are finally brought into light. But what I really like, I don't have time to go over all of this, so I'm just kind of putting it in short. But through all of this, through all of his suffering, he never, he asks, why me, Lord? But he doesn't accuse God. He doesn't say, God, you did this, da da da. He didn't accuse God. Instead, in the beginning, he completely humbled himself. When he lost everything, he completely humbled himself to God, and then said, God had given me and God had taken away, and he worshipped the Lord. He worshipped God. Everything that he had was taken away from him, and yet he worshipped God. And I think this is just a really good characteristic. I mean, there's a song called "I'll Praise You in the Storm," and that reminds me of Job, you know. So can we be like that? Can we, in the storms of our lives, in the times that it feels like we are just almost being picked on, in the times where it feels like it's almost impossible, instead of blaming God, like, one of the major areas where we do this is when we lose somebody that we're really close to. When we lose a loved one, it's always like, oh God, why did you take them away from me? We can't see that, you know, everything happens for a reason, but that's when we're always so quick to blame God, and we need to refrain from that, and we need to have this characteristic that Job had, that he just humbled himself. And so I think when we lose somebody, or when tragic things happen in our life, we need to strive to be more like Job, and to just worship the Lord still, because we should worship him in knowledge that he's going to get us through this, just like he got us through everything else. God said he would never leave us nor forsake us, and we should take that promise and hold dear to it, and learn to be a little more like Job. So, I think I'm running pretty close to my time limit here, and I don't want to run over, but, I recommend everybody read Job. Read the whole book of Job, because it's such an inspiring book, and it makes you question yourself. It makes you ask yourself the question, if I went through everything this man is going through, could I still hit my knees and praise and worship my God? Could I still do that? Could I do what Job did? And if not, how can I be more like Job? And so that's what I want us to get out of this. That's why I thought he was such a great character reference, because he amazes me. Every time I read that chapter, it amazes me. And I want to be more like that, and I want to strive to be more like that. So let's see where we are. So yeah, I'm pretty close to my time. Pray about this. I mean, I'm going to continue to pray about having the characteristics of Job and some of the great people in the Bible. You know, I want to, my goal right now is to continuously grow in my walk with Christ. And I just pray that for you guys. I pray that the Lord touches you, and that he just calls you closer to him, and that you continuously grow in him and find him sweeter all the way. And know that no matter what you're going through, no matter how difficult it may seem right now, even though it may seem like there's no way out of it, God promised you that he would never leave you nor forsake you. So no matter how bad it is, God is still right there beside you, and he's going to get you through it. Just know that. So may Jesus bless you guys, and I will be talking to you here real soon. And may Jesus bless you guys.